Guys, today's video is quite a serious video. We're going to listen to Eva Meisels, who's a survivor of the Holocaust. She's written quite a few memoirs on the whole subject. But just something that you know about me before we go into this, and I'm not just speaking from, we're not just putting this out because it's there. Me and my wife and my youngest son have actually been to Krakow in Poland, and we visited Auschwitz. We've actually been there personally. We spent the day there. We've looked around. We've walked all around the camp, and it's a moving place, guys. There was people walking around there, crying. It's if ever you get to go anywhere in your life and understand humanity, a visit to Auschwitz should be top of people's list. What they should do as well in Canada is something that Eva says in this interview, later on in the interview, is they did bring the Holocaust into schools and teach the Holocaust, but they need to keep doing that. We need to keep reminding people that this happened. So Eva's going to start by telling us what her views are, or what her thoughts were when all of this stuff happened last week in Parliament.
I tell you honestly, I was shocked when I first heard about that. But at the same time, this morning when I heard that the man actually stepped down, the one who should have checked this person's background, and he stepped down now finally. I like that idea, because you have no idea, and I don't, nobody does, how many people are living in Canada free and living a beautiful life after what they have done during the war.
A heavy heart that I rise to inform members of my resignation as Speaker of the House of Commons. It has been my greatest honor as a parliamentarian to have been elected by you, my peers, to serve as the Speaker of the House of Commons for the 43rd and 44th Parliament. The work of this House is above any of us. Therefore, I must step down as your Speaker.
So now the whole world is aware of what's been going on in Canada and what went on in Parliament on that fateful day. What would you like the whole of the world to know about what happened? Now you've got the world, and the world is paying attention to what happened in Canada.
I think they should be, before they honor them, they should be checked on their background. And also, I think we should keep on going as long as we can, speaking to people and educating them about what was going on during the war and what people are capable of doing. Both my husband and I have seen that, actually, the horrors of the Holocaust. And since we are living in Canada, in a free, beautiful country, much of our time is we were spending with school and community groups, so that the future generations understand these atrocities and never allow them to be repeated.
Are you actually surprised that so many of these war criminals were allowed to move to Canada with very little vetting? Obviously, there's no internet or anything back there. It could have just mostly just been their word against the government's word, what they were doing and who they were fighting for, and what division that they were in while they were fighting on the other side. Are you surprised at that, Eva?
But we are believing it, and most of us, and we think that through education we are getting somewhere a little bit. And both my husband and I have spent a lot of time speaking about our experiences with schools and community groups, and do believe that the education with knowledge to stand up for what is right, and we have to. And now that the Holocaust education will be included in the Ontario public school curriculum in grade 6, I think it's very, very important, because not just for the children, but also when they go home and they sit down for dinner, maybe they can mention it to their parents. And some of them had never even heard of the Holocaust. I have letters of this to prove it, so much so that they are writing to me saying that they never even heard of the Holocaust. And unfortunately, the number of the remaining survivors dwindles, and now it is going to be up to the children and the grandchildren, Jews and non-Jews, to continue to share their testimony and spread the lessons of the Holocaust. I do believe that each person can make a positive difference, and silence is not an option, and it is never too late to do the right thing.
Is there any way, in your mind, do you think that Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, can fix this problem that basically the Liberal government and Parliament have created?
On behalf of all of us in this House, I would like to present unreserved apologies for what took place on Friday, and to President Zelensky and the Ukrainian delegation for the position they were put in. For all of us who were present, to have unknowingly recognized this individual was a terrible mistake and a violation of the memory of those who suffered grievously at the hands of the Nazi regime.
I honestly don't know, unless he's pushing and helping each person to speak up against what's going on. That's the only way out, and let us speak to more and more people and mention it to them what has happened and tell them. Because we are the only few of us who are still around, who has exact knowledge of what was continued and spread the lessons of the Holocaust.
Well, there you have it. Thanks to 6:40 AM for speaking to Eva and getting that interview. If I can find the link to her memoirs, I'll put that in the description. You know, people need to listen to at least one or two of the survivors of the Holocaust to understand their feelings and what they went through and what they want. And from what we hear from Eva, the biggest thing that she wants and her husband wants is to tell people what happened so it doesn't happen again. So all this deleting history and everything, we got to stop doing that, guys. Canada's got to stop putting the lid on history. We need to open up history and learn about the atrocities of the past so we can learn for the future of our generation. Till next time.